The Google services revenue was a slight beat, but what was really impressive was the margin beat on the Google services. And a lot of it is because everyone thought because they're adding AI overviews, that's going to hurt the margins of search. Well, it didn't happen.
Why didn't that happen? Because you have to explain this from the perspective of a Google user, like the experience. If we get the answer with the AI overview, we're not looking at ads. We're not clicking on things.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it hurt?
Because they have so many different types of queries on Google search that some of those queries, they are able to monetize it just through ads on AI overviews. Remember, Google never went away from ads. Even though they integrated LLMs, ads has always been a core part of the Google.com offering, even with the AI overviews. And they somehow weave the ads in a way where they're able to charge for those ads. That's what makes them so special.
I never look at an ad on, like, what is wrong? I don't know. When I look at an AI overview, all I'm looking at is the answer.
It depends on whether it's an informational query versus an e-commerce query or a travel query or an auto query. The page change is so dynamic that they are able to weave in the right ads with the right kind of targeting.
What about with the Gemini app? And like the app experience, are they able to make money doing that yet?
No.
Does that matter?
You have to remember, Google does 5 trillion searches a year. 5 trillion.
It's like off the charts.
Even if they monetize 20 to 25%, which is the case, 75% of the queries are not monetized. Imagine how much power they have in terms of the targeting they have with the ads, as well as the number of queries. Even if ChatGPT is taking some volume, 5 trillion is a lot.
Mark, I want to bring you back in as we've got Mandeep Singh, brilliant part of our Bloomberg intelligence team. Mark Douglas, President and Chief Executive Officer of Mountain. Really great perspective in terms of advertising within this world. But you mentioned something about Gemini that you want to hear on the call. Just lay it out again for Mandeep so that we can kind of dig into that with him.
Yeah, I think it's similar comments, which is the Google as a company. I think what's most important to see is that they let the different parts of the company compete. So Gemini competes with search results, because if they don't compete with themselves, then OpenAI and others are going to do the competition for them. And so I think it's important that they let them compete. It appears they are. And I also agree with the other comment that he just had in terms of scale of their business, is like, you can increase search results, paid search results 0.5% and beat. They have a lot of levers to pull, and I think they're doing a good job pulling them to be able to navigate this climate right now.
Yeah, and the point about Gemini, not only does it there's a competitive aspect, but also you learn so much more about the user. Yeah. Imagine they are on Gmail, Maps, Search. Now you have got one more app where you have your user, you are learning about their type of queries, how good their ad targeting becomes suddenly because they are interfacing through Gemini now. So there's one more surface that you are adding, and it complements their ad targeting.
Mark brings up this concept of, great to compete with yourself. And so essentially that's kind of what Alphabet's doing, right? With Google search and then Gemini. But is it a guarantee that everybody who's been using Google is just going to easily just kind of segue into Gemini? Can we assume that will happen?
Google is still the verb. And I don't think it's changing anytime soon. Yes, you can say ChatGPT for certain informational queries, and for certain queries, ChatGPT does a great job. But if you're thinking about the Google ecosystem, all the apps that you are used to using on the consumer side on a day-to-day basis, it's hard to take yourself out completely from the Google ecosystem. You'll still be using Gmail, apps, YouTube, even if you use ChatGPT. A lot of times ChatGPT shows you a search result, and then you go to Maps to search for the exact address that ChatGPT is showing.
Right.
Hey, Mandeep, Alphabet shares up 4% in the after hours. Meta Platforms up 2.3%. Amazon shares are higher by 1%. All happening because of what we heard from Alphabet. Is this just a huge sigh of relief when it comes to mega cap tech? Is everything okay? Are we out of the woods?
I'll wait for the call because remember, Liberation Day was April 2nd.
Yeah.
This is through March 31st. We don't even know what the impact of tariffs was. I mean, all that happened at the beginning of 2Q. So we may be, I think, too far-fetched in thinking, we're out of the woods, but it's a good print.